Hey, this is Harold Jr. and welcome to another episode of the Ice Talks, where we implement change every day. Hey everybody, Harold Jr. here, also known as hrjr, your motivational coach. If you don't know what motivation means, motive plus action equals results, and results equal success. I want to talk to you today about complacency. Complacency and comfort. Because comfort breeds complacency. See, what happens is we may get inspired to do something. We may set a goal and we may go all in to achieve that goal. And then you know what? By the grace of God, the universe, or whatever you deem your higher power to be, you actually achieve that goal. You get that promotion. You get that girl. You get that dude. You make the team, whatever it is you want to do. And then, after the celebration, you get comfortable, right? You don't work as hard. You think you got it like that. You reached a new level, so you standing on a new level and you don't have to work as hard to stay at that level because you just got it like that. You good. That is complacency. Comfort breeds complacency. And the crazy thing is, there's no major life-shattering, lightning and thunder, meteoric, catastrophic situation that happens to let you know that things done changed, that you done found yourself in the world of complacency and laziness. It's something that creeps up on you. Let me share an experience with you. I love my car. I have a 2014 Chrysler 300. And one of the things I do, because it's fun actually, and it's a nice little side money, I got a little Uber hustle on the side. I do Uber. I'm an Uber driver. I've been doing it. It'll be 3 years in August. But here's the thing. When I got my car was smooth, like woo, it was like floating on a cloud. It was beautiful, you know. And I never had a Chrysler 300 before. I never had a Chrysler before. But anyway, it was smooth. But again, I've had the car for, a little over 2 years now. About 2 years now. And I noticed little changes, but I figure, the car, I got a lot of miles on the car. It's a couple years old and there's a lot of miles. So I'm expecting to hear little noises here and there. So I'm not really paying attention to anything. I'm just, I'm not ready to get a new car yet, so it's pretty much got to take it in stride. So one of the things I noticed is that the engine, or the sound of the car while it's traveling started getting a little louder. Wasn't paying attention to it. Car was still running smooth, still got me from point A to point B and even point Z. Wasn't paying attention. Wasn't even worried about it, right? Then about 2 weeks ago, I'm driving. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I hit a pothole, right? Bam! It was a bad pothole too. Bam! As soon as I hit that pothole, my car went from to so I definitely knew, obviously at that point, something was wrong with the muffler, the exhaust system or something. So shut down all operations and took it straight home. Next morning, went to the shop. Had to get, my whole situation fixed. So, that was going to cost a little grip, and I didn't have the money at hand, and I wasn't about to ask for it from anybody. So I had to wait a couple weeks till, pension check came in. And yet that happened yesterday. So yesterday morning, I spent the first early part of the morning in the repair shop. But then I got my car back when it was done, with a brand new exhaust system. And I got behind the wheel, turned the car on, and just outside of just the engine turning over, I heard nothing. Then I backed out, got onto the street, put my foot on the gas, felt like being lifted up and pushed. It was beautiful. I can't remember when I last felt that way in my car. It's amazing how complacency can creep up on you and you don't even realize the changes that are taking place because they come slowly. They come gradually. They come so slow and so gradual that you get used to it before you even know you're used to it. You just think that's the way it is. That's the way it's always been. So that's the way it's got to be. Now, think about where you are in your life. I don't know you. I may not know you. All right? I may not know your upbringing, where you came from, your family background. You may be, living well. You may be living just well enough to have access to the internet so you can listen to this, but your money might not be where you want it to be. My point is, where you are isn't necessarily where you have to be. But what keeps people from going from where they are to where they want to be is they have complacent thinking, in that because they are where they are, that's where they deserve to be, because that's the way it's always been. It's all they know. It's exactly what they've gotten used to, what they've gotten accustomed to. There's a legal circumstance in which when when a married couple divorces, and if one spouse is generally slanted towards women, but if one spouse gave up their own personal ambitions or opportunities to make a living themselves individually so they could support the other spouse, and they, do well, then because that non-working spouse became accustomed to a certain lifestyle, all right, in support of that original person, even though the marriage gets dissolved, there are times in which that money-making spouse, male or female, all right, has to provide support for the other spouse to keep them living in the lifestyle that they became accustomed to because they didn't do, or they weren't working themselves. All right? People get caught up in the lifestyles they become accustomed to and don't realize that you don't want to be there. As a matter of fact, you do realize you don't want to be there, but you don't want to put in the work necessary in order to get to the next level. See, notice I started talking about people setting goals and achieving goals, right? But what I've also said before is that there are times when people don't even try, not because they're afraid that they're going to fail. They don't even try because they're afraid that they're going to succeed, because they know if I got to work hard to get to this level, I'm going to have to work just that hard to stay at that level. And if I want to go to another level, then I'm going to have to work even harder. And if I got to get higher, I'm going to have to work harder. I'm going to have to work harder. Why can't I just chill? I'm comfortable. I'm good right here. I don't need to move. Hey, I'm good. The rent is cheap. The neighbors are cool. Okay, maybe somebody gets shot every so often, crazy stuff. Because what you do is you compromise yourself. You compromise yourself. You make compromises with yourself. You bargain with yourself to stay complacent. See, comfort breeds complacency, and then you compromise with yourself, which leads to conduct that further perpetuates the complacency. Now, in order to break this habit, in order to break this line of thinking, you just have to step up and step out. You have to see what the work is that has to be done and do the work. There's a billionaire, I believe he's passed away now. Bunker Hunt, I think his name was. All right. And he said, and I'm paraphrasing this, but he said something along the lines of, success or becoming successful is a two-step process. All right. The first step is to find out what it is you want to do and how much it's going to cost to do it. And then the second step, pay the price. See, so as long as you're comfortable, you will always be complacent. See, so you have to step outside of your comfort zone. This is something I just got through telling my kids in karate class yesterday. All right, because we were working just one drill, 3 technique drill, right? Jab, cross with a front leg roundhouse kick, right? But we're doing it for 45 minutes straight. Just that one thing. So their arms are tired, their legs are tired, their hips are tired. And then after maybe 15 or 20 repetitions, I'll have them stretch their legs in splits, right? And so we'll do that for 30 seconds or so, and then get up and they're doing the technique again, right? And oh, my arm, senpai, oh, my arm, oh, my leg. Who's feeling pain right now? Tell the truth, raise your hand, because they'll think that they're being tough by not raising their hand and saying, no, I want you to tell me the truth. Who's hurt right now? Whose arms are hurt? Whose arms are tired? And everybody raised their hand. I say, good. And I had them repeat after me. I told them, pain is nothing more than weakness leaving the body. Pain is nothing more than weakness leaving the body. Because here's the thing. Success lies on the other, and I don't know who said this, I don't recall who said this, but success lies on the other side of your comfort zone. You have to go through some things to get to some things. Something that goes on in the speaking industry, a little saying, a slogan that a lot of speakers have, is you have to, you can't have a testimony unless you've been tested. You can't have a message unless you done been through some mess. See? So in order to get to that next level, in order to get to where you want to go and achieve the things you want to achieve in your life, you are going to have to get out of your comfort zone. You cannot afford to be comfortable. You cannot afford to be comfortable. What happens when you get comfortable is people forget about you. Oh, they'll think about you, but they're not thinking about you. You'll come across their mind, but you're not relevant. See, why? And then look at all these artists that are out here doing all kinds of crazy stuff. They blew up and made a name for themselves on their pure talent and artistry and expertise and whatever. All that by itself. But then they fell off. They got comfortable. They got the good life. They got comfortable. They got complacent. Right? And so they may be doing their music, or they may be acting, or they may have new projects in the works, but ain't nobody thinking about them right now. No one is thinking about them. So what they have to do now is they have to do all kinds of ridiculous flash in the pan, spur of the moment stuff to get you watching them, to get you paying attention to them. And now that you're paying attention to them and you're talking, like everybody's talking about Kanye West on social media. So now everybody's talking about Kanye West this week. Now, I bet you within another week, I think he has a record coming out, or he produced somebody else's record or what have you. All right. So here's the thing. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. If you stay working, if you stay grinding, of course, take some time to celebrate your wins. Take some time to celebrate your victories. Take some time to bask in the glory of your work. Take some time to rest, regenerate, recuperate, rejuvenate. But don't spend too much time resting. Don't spend too much time partying, because there's somebody younger than you that's hungrier than you that's coming for your spot. And if you fall off, and if you slip, and if you slack, that hungrier person is going to come up behind you and they're going to eat your food. They're going to take you out of the equation. They're going to take you off the scene. They're going to take you off the map. Don't allow comfort and complacency to cost you a courageous life. This is Harold S. Reed Jr., and thank you for listening to another episode of the Ice Talks, where we implement change every day.